2 o'clock straight up. Thanks everybody for coming to Pitch Day for 100K on November 2nd, 2022. It's a great day to pitch. You guys know I get super excited for Pitch Day. I don't even like to call it Wednesday. It's just Pitch Day. And today we're going to hear from Huzaifa, or H, as he's like to be known, from ChargeWheel, and Russ from AI Media Lab. And congratulations to H and Russ on getting through the flanks of requirements that you have to get through to show up here on Pitch Day. We, on average, we screen and provide feedback and give deck coaching to 15 or 20 companies for every one that's selected to pitch. So congrats on making it through. And for those companies that aren't quite ready to pitch, you can enter one of our incubator programs where we help you as a founder make it to our pitch day or another demo day somewhere else by giving you hopefully some great coaching and education along the way. Before we get started today, just a couple of things who are new to our program. First, Startup NV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit accelerator and incubator. We operate three nonprofit programs for entrepreneurs or founders, if you prefer, and four for-profit investment funds or syndicates. Our nonprofit operation is supported by grants and sponsors in the near term, and over the long term, by participating accelerator companies who pledge a teeny tiny amount of equity to our nonprofit, which we hope will be worth a lot of money and someday soon. So we run Pitch Day for 100K every other Wednesday or fortnightly, where companies pitch for the Q&A that comes with the luxury of getting to pitch to us. And if you make it into the accelerator, it comes with an investment from Fund NV, our pre-seed fund, of 50K added to by or replicated with a match from SSBCI. So that's the 100K sort of minimum that the folks who get into our accelerator get. And then our syndicate adds to that. And they've typically added an average of about an additional $75,000 to our investment. So on average, we invest about 124K. That gets matched by SSBCI. And so we've made 16 direct investments in 2021 and 2022 so far, ranging from 50K on the small end to $1.3 million on the large end. So our nonprofit work with entrepreneurs, along with people interested in startups and investing, would not be possible without the financial help of our sponsors and supporters. The City of Las Vegas, the Nevada Governor's Office of Economic Development, or GOED, as we like to call them, Eide Bailly, and KPMG. Now, if you are someone or you know someone who might like to help with financial support or in-kind services, please introduce me or one of my colleagues at Startup NV. We'll give them a good deal. Each founder gets 10 minutes to pitch today. At the end of that, you'll hear an alarm that marks the 10-minute mark. If you do hear the alarm, please wrap up within 10 or 15 seconds so we don't have to mute you. Questions from our audience and from our LPs go in the chat. Maggie asks all the questions. We get through a lot more of them that way. Just a couple other announcements. Please check out and attend our Lunch and Learns and Sip and Learns every second Wednesday. We have our free founder bootcamp ongoing, started a couple of weeks ago. You can join at any time. Everything's recorded. So if you do have an interest in joining our free founder bootcamp on how to raise capital for your startup, just go online to angelnv.com and you can sign up for free right there. Finally, our Angel NV investor program is going to be starting in January. This year, we're going to invest at least $400,000 in at least one company. So stay tuned here to this channel to find out when we open the application process for Angel NV. And that should happen sometime starting in December. So I think our founders are ready to go.
I'm the co-founder and CEO of ChargeWheel. We are building the Airbnb of EV charging. The EV sales in the US market have been constantly increasing over the last couple of years, mainly because of the oil prices that keeps going up, and also consumers are much more aware that EVs are just in general better for their environment and also better for their wallets. The problem is that we, as consumers, are buying EVs at an accelerated rate today. but the current EV infrastructure is being deployed too slowly to meet the existing demand. So today we have more electric cars on the road, but we have very few chargers who can meet the demand of charging those electric cars. To give you an example, it takes an average of 18 months to install a single fast charger into the ground, and it could cost up to $250,000 for an installation. So you might have seen a EV charger at your local Target or your Whole Foods or Smith's or any other grocery store. Every time you see that charger, you would see that it has took at least $250,000 of investment to install a single charger. And it took an average of 18 months just to complete that installation process. Now, the question is that why does it take 18 months to install the charger, and why does it cost so much to install that charger into the ground? And leading players in the market like EVgo, ChargePoint, they haven't been able to resolve that problem, whether bringing down the cost of the installation or reducing the time of installing the charger. So there are a couple of challenges that industry players are going through today. So for example, the first challenge they run into is finding a site. A site would be a parking structure, which is commercially available to anyone to park. And once they do find a parking structure, which there's a high probability that that parking structure belongs to Target, Walmart, or other grocery stores. Once they do find the site, they have to ensure that the power level is adequate enough at the site that can power their chargers. The power level that's required today to install these chargers is three-phase AC connection, 480 volt. It's a high voltage connection. It's not available at 99% of the sites in the US. Only 1% sites in the US, 1% commercial sites in the US have a high voltage power level available where they can potentially install the chargers. Once you do find a site that has power level available for your EV charger, then you would have to go through a permitting process. And that permitting process could last anywhere from 6 to 12 months, depending on the state or county where you are installing the charger. But when you are when it takes you 18 months to install a charger and it costs you $250,000 for a single installation, that also means that over a period of time, as a EV network operator, you would see very low operating margins and a higher upfront capex. ChargeWheel is building the Airbnb of EV charging. The way we are solving the EV charger deployment problem, we are targeting two aspects of the problem. So the first problem, obviously, is finding a site where we can potentially deploy a charger. So that site has to be very, very targeted for the EV driver. It has to be located in a way that an EV driver can simply access that site without going through a lot of hassle. The second problem that we are solving with our solution is the power level. So we have designed a patented fast EV charger that does not require a three-phase high voltage input to charge an electric car. Our EV charger, even though it's a fast EV charger, it only requires 120, 240 AC input, which is widely available all over the US. And our deployment cost is only 1/4 because since we are connecting to a 240 volt connection, we don't have to dig the ground. We don't have to get construction permits. We don't have to get any other permits to deploy these chargers. The interesting thing we are doing when it comes to deploying the chargers is that we are targeting, or we are converting private home driveways into fast chargers for EV drivers. Our installation time is only under 4 hours, and the cost of installation is around $60,000. We can target any site where we have a 220 connection available. Since our upfront installation cost and the hardware cost is pretty low, our margins are pretty high when we are charging the EV drivers to provide the EV charging service. Our charging speed is around 150 kilowatts as well. This is an overview of our market size. So our total available market size is $95 billion. Our serviceable available market is $38 billion, and the obtainable market share for ChargeWheel is around $2 billion. The way our technology works is that once we do deploy a charger in a private home driveway, any driver can show up to the driveway and they can charge their electric car. But the system that we install in the house that also acts as a power backup for your home. So when you are choosing to host a ChargeWheel charger at your property, you also get a backup power solution for your home. And that just sweetens the deal for the homeowner or whoever wants to host the ChargeWheel charger. In competitive landscape, we have direct competitors like ChargePoint, EVgo, Electrify America, and Volta. These direct competitors currently operate a EV charging network. They have deployed thousands of chargers across US. And then we have indirect competitors like ZapMap, PlugShare, BookMyCharge, which are software platforms that enables a homeowner to share their level 2 charger with other people who wants to charge their electric cars. Our go-to-market strategy today is very simple. We are trying to find homeowners who are currently hosting their homes on Airbnb or who are currently sharing their level 2 charger with other EV drivers. We currently have 1,800 hosts in our waiting list who are ready to host a ChargeWheel charger in their private home driveways. In terms of customers, we are initially targeting fleet operators like Amazon, DoorDash, UPS, Uber, Lyft. So every time an Uber driver is driving in Las Vegas and they run out of charging in their electric car, they can find the nearest driveway where they can potentially go and charge their electric car. The way it works for the host, if you are a homeowner, you can choose to host with ChargeWheel, and ChargeWheel will install a charger completely no cost to the homeowner. There's no upfront cost to the homeowner. And once the charger is installed, every time an EV driver shows up in your driveway, you get paid from that transaction, which is usually ranges from $5 to $8 per session. And moving forward, any energy cost that incurs because of the charging, ChargeWheel covers the energy cost for you as well. This is just a pricing overview for our service. So we have 3 pricing tiers: pay as you go, we have a member pricing tier, and then we have a separate pricing tier for enterprise. We have raised $1.5 million in pre-seed funding from Right Side Capital. We have currently deployed 10 chargers in Las Vegas. Last year, we generated $800,000 in revenue from hardware sales, and currently we are targeting a pilot with Uber in San Francisco. Our team has combined experience of over 20 years in designing high voltage electrical appliances, mainly the EV chargers. Our chief technology officer has worked on battery technology for over 15 years, and he also taught electrical engineering at the University of Waterloo. We have Evan and Richard on our advisory board. They both worked at Uber and various different banking and energy companies. That's why their background is much helpful for us. We are currently extending our pre-seed round to raise an additional $1 million at $18 million cap. Thank you.